Kevin Corke joins us now. Kevin, good evening to you.
Evening to you, Bill. Presidents Trump and Biden weighing in on the devastating fires in Los Angeles in very different ways, not surprisingly. Mr. Biden, who actually just so happened to be in the Southland Wednesday for unrelated reasons, including the birth of his first great-grandchild, said all the right things about receiving briefings on the ongoing effort to contain the blazes, calling the situation astounding. And as if to underscore the seriousness of it all, late Wednesday, Mr. Biden canceled the final overseas trip of his presidency just hours before he was set to depart for Rome and the Vatican, choosing instead to remain in Washington to monitor situations in California. Meantime, President-elect Trump, who was on Capitol Hill Wednesday to huddle with Senate Republicans about his upcoming agenda, wasted little time in blaming Biden and California Governor Gavin Newsom for the problems in the Golden State, which he, frankly, has been warning about for years after previous fires in the state, on the campaign trail in 2024, and again on Truth Social, writing, quote, "One of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States of America is burning down to the ground. It's ashes, and Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault." He also said this.
So what's happened is a tragedy, and
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There were hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies. People want to divide this country, and we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you because it infects real people. That are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time, and you wonder where this stuff comes from, and it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job done.
want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill our we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
We also want to bring down Peter Doocy because Peter Doocy is talking about the federal response to this and what President-elect Trump is saying and where we plan to go from here with help from our federal neighbors. Peter, what do you know?
Trace, to build off of what you were just talking about, President-elect Trump is also watching as this $50 billion 0% contained fire continues to spread, and he's got a suggestion on Truth Social. He says Governor Gavin Newsom should immediately go to Northern California and open up the water main and let the water flow into his dry, starving, burning state instead of having it go out into the Pacific Ocean. It ought to be done right now. No more excuses from this incompetent governor. It's already far too late. And this cleanup and rebuild are going to be a huge undertaking during Trump's next term.
So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it.
Newsom is taking a lot of incoming from frustrated Californians, and he says he doesn't think it's the time for Trump to be involving himself right now.
People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't.
President-elect Trump is back at Mar-a-Lago after the Carter funeral.
California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass are both facing criticism that they were unprepared for the disaster. William Lajeunesse is in our L.A. bureau with more on the political fallout. William.
You know, people are angry, and they want answers, and they're saying, what are we paying taxes for? DEI and fighting President Trump or universal legal expenses for illegal immigrants? And this is not about stopping Mother Nature. This is about wanting the people in charge, the governor, lawmakers, and mayors, asking them what did they do or did not do about this situation to mitigate the problem beforehand or respond to it later. So listen to this woman confronting Governor Newsom.
That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Why was there no water?
And he went viral a couple hours ago for this, for faking a phone call. Coward. He knew he wasn't on the phone. Joe Biden didn't even know he was getting a call. And he ought to be ashamed of himself. Like I said in that video a couple hours ago, take that watch off, sir, and put your hands behind your back. Yeah. Put your hands behind your back, sir. You know, you were warned years ago, 2 months ago. Talking about he on the phone with the president.
In the hydrants, Governor.
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
I would fill up the hydrants myself.
I understand.
But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not.
Also taking heat, Mayor Karen Bass, who abandoned the city for Africa 2 days after the National Weather Service forecast record Santa Ana winds.
What explains this lack of preparation?
She ought to be ashamed of herself, too.
I think the focus of all of us here with one voice is that we have to protect lives, we have to save lives, and we have to save homes. Rest assured that when
that did not happen.
But can you address the criticism now over the budget issue and the slashing, $17 million slashing
I think
of the budget?
There were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation.
Yeah, well, there's an argument about that. But, finally, some real absurdity. Look here. Twice the county sent out evacuation alerts by mistake to thousands of Angelenos and then apologized by tweet and later by another alert. Point is, people here, you guys, are on pins and needles. They're nervous. When your phone goes off with an alert telling you to leave, it's stressful. Then they tell you, oh, that was a mistake. People are angry. Like I said, it's emblematic of a situation people are kind of waking up to, that this isn't working for them. Back to you.
Yeah, it creates a lot of distrust. William, thank you. Julie, that footage of the reporter, who is also a mother, confronting her governor was really interesting. Something to see.
That woman has gone viral, and for very good reason, because she is representing thousands of Californians who want to say the exact same thing to their governor.
And that's why I told y'all, man, shout out to that woman. God bless her and her family. And shout out to that camera, the camera person, the cameraman, whoever's recording. Shout out I'm glad they got that on camera. I really appreciate that, man. It's a disgrace, y'all. And he gonna sit up there and fake the phone like he on the phone. And when the video first started, she asked him, and he said no. Just a complete coward, man. And then that mayor, they got her on camera. She was just speechless. Couldn't even send her thoughts or prayers out to the people in her state that have lost everything. She just stayed silent when they first broke the news to her. And she out the country. Unbelievable. And we're not even talking about what some of the decision making. Let me get it out, y'all. Decision making. From these individuals of California, and they done ran everybody out of there. And there's been people telling them, prophets, people been saying, please, y'all get out of California. And now you see why. They've been warning people for a long time. Y'all need to get out of California.
Why are we in this position? Why are we so concerned about housing illegal immigrants and, protecting sanctuary cities and DEI when this city, Los Angeles, and all the surrounding areas have not been prepared properly for this? And I feel so sorry for all the residents. And it's not just the rich. As Jonathan Hunt pointed out earlier, there are the middle class. This is a reality, a wake-up moment for the state of California and certainly for the Democrats that are running that place.
And there seems to be a bit of a shell game going on. I want to play this clip from Governor Gavin Newsom. When asked, he points to local government. Watch this.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades, it ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter in this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
Guys, so that was Wednesday. Look, maybe he had just gotten to the scene, but I just can't imagine Governor DeSantis, who has handled hurricanes so brilliantly, is saying, oh, go ask the local government.
Yeah. If you watch that clip, which we just did, as soon as the question is over from Anderson Cooper, the governor of California literally throws his hands up. Not figuratively throwing his hands up at a question. He literally throws his hands up and says, ask the locals. That is going to be a very frustrating answer or non-answer, I think, to a lot of Californians. And then you think about the mayor, who was out of country for so long, then comes back, one mistake after another, the misfire emergency alerts. Yikes.
Yeah, Harris.
Yeah, well, the emergency alert system was what I was talking about moments after our newscast started. And that is that the citizens were being chided at that news conference for not having their notifications on their cell phones. But if the information isn't something that you can trust anymore, that's a frustrating situation for people. So it's, they have Silicon Valley just a few hundred miles north. They should go up there and get somebody to come down and clean up their communications so they can do what they really need to do. And at another time, I'll give you Karen Bass's timeline. It's fascinating.
Emily.
The most prescient point that mother made was what's going to happen next time. Because the reality is it's a pattern there in California. More than half of the largest wildfires in state history, of the largest 20, have occurred in the last 5 years. And so for her to go up to Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of the whole state, and Northern California just went through this, as I described, up to 30% of the wildland firefighting force there in the state of California is often the incarcerated. And yet Gavin Newsom chose to reduce that program. So there's been a million decisions along the way by him that have had direct impact, not only on the prevention, on also the collaboration with PG&E, so the regulations and the regulatory structure there, people's insurance, the power outage, the water, the resupply, the firefighters, the wildland resources, and then now how you handle emergency messaging services, and then the rebuild. In all of those, in that constellation, in that million chapter approach and what you have to deal with of firefighting there in the state of California, he fails every single step of the way and then blames it on locals. For someone that has national aspirations, I would think he would want to boost collaboration with others.
Yeah, lots of questions, and let's hope we get some semblance of accountability in the coming days.